So, as you guys can see, the box is fairly simple with this Bluetooth earpiece. As I spin this around, you guys can see there's not really a lot of specifications or details on the box. So what we're going to do is move this onto a secondary camera angle so you guys can have a closer shot at this product. As you guys can see on the front of the box, it just says Newbie Bluetooth headset, and there's a picture of the Bluetooth headset. This has a maximum talking time of 24 hours on a full charge battery. On this side of the box, you guys can see there's a few specifications and details about this product. You guys can take a pause and read that. But what we're going to do now is actually proceed to unbox this Bluetooth earpiece. So we're going to lift up the box, and you guys can see we are instantly greeted with some earplugs that you guys can use in environments where it's a little too loud. And then inside you guys can see we have a carrying case. This user manual will give you guys a lot more information and details on how to use this Bluetooth earpiece, and also exactly what to do if you run into any issues with the setup or the configuration process. So what we're going to do now is actually take a look at the Bluetooth earpiece itself. Let's open it up. But you guys can see as I open it up, we do have all of our accessories inside. So you guys can see we have a micro USB charging cable that you guys need to use to charge up this Bluetooth earpiece. Inside this bag, it looks like we have some actual earbuds that you guys can use to listen to music, and they also included some earpieces and some ear brackets that you guys can use to put inside your ear to make sure that your Bluetooth earpiece actually fits inside. And then last but not least, you guys can see this is actually our earpiece. So as you guys can see, this is actually everything that's actually included with this product. You guys can see we have some earplugs, we got the actual Bluetooth earpiece right here, we got some ear tips and also some different size ear tips right here. We got the headphone jack, or I should say the headphone extension for one side of your ears, and then we also got the charging cable and the carrying case. I also have some replacement earphones that you guys can use with this earpiece. You guys can see it comes in a nice little box, and it comes in a nice little case that you guys can use to change out or swap out the different earphone pieces with your Bluetooth earpiece. But you guys can see we got some white ones, and we also got a few black ones. So you guys can see they're all different sizes and different colors, and I like how the company actually provided this. It comes in a nice little case that you guys can easily take on the go. But right now what we're going to do is actually move on to the testing and demonstration portion of this video. Alright, so what we're going to do now is actually proceed to test out this Bluetooth earpiece. On the Bluetooth earpiece, you guys can see this is actually where you turn it on and off. On this side, this is where you'll charge your Bluetooth earpiece once the battery is low. And then here is your volume up and down buttons, as you guys can see. The microphone is down here. And then this is where your Bluetooth, or I should say your ears actually go inside, and you guys can actually attach a ear hook if you want to. But those are a few little details and few specifications that this Bluetooth earpiece has. But right now what we're going to do is actually turn it on and connect it with my phone so we can actually test out and demonstrate voice calls and all that stuff. So let me turn it on. It's currently flashing, and I think I hold it saying Bluetooth mode. So let me go onto my phone and connect to this Bluetooth earpiece. Once you find the Bluetooth earpiece, all you need to do is connect to it and pair up with it. And I think we connected. I did hear it say connected. What I am going to do is attach the earpiece on so I can put it onto my ear. Alright, so I put the earpiece into my ear. I don't know if I put it in exactly correctly, but we're all going to make, deal with what I got. So it is in my ear right now. We're going to actually test out a few things. Let's actually test out just playing some music real quick. I just want to hear how the audio sounds like. The audio doesn't sound too bad. And then the good thing about this Bluetooth earpiece is there's a volume control that you guys can use to manipulate and change the volume at any time. So if you guys are hearing it, that's audio leakage from the Bluetooth earpiece. But honestly, it's pretty loud. So if I was driving with this, I can easily hear phone calls and stuff. But let me just see if the volume rocker works on the side. So let's see. Yep. Yep, it's toning it down. The audio sounds pretty clean. It doesn't sound too distorted, so that's pretty good. If I was using this when I'm driving around or walking around, the audio sounds pretty clean, so that gives me high hopes when we test this out when we do a voice call. What we are gonna do now is actually test out a phone call real quick. I'm gonna have someone call me real quick, and then we're just gonna test this out and see if the microphone sounds really good. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is actually have someone call me so we can test out the microphone capability of this Bluetooth earpiece. So let me pick it up. Hello? So how's my audio with this Bluetooth earpiece? Because that's what I'm using right now. Pretty good. I can actually hear you perfectly fine with this. So it doesn't sound distorted. It doesn't sound like you can't hear me, or it's just fine. That's good to hear. So yeah, and then if I wanted to hang up the call, all I need to do is click it, and you guys can see the phone call actually ended, and I'm done talking to the person. So you guys can see this Bluetooth earpiece does the job. You know, if you're driving around and you don't want to be using a phone as you're driving, because it's one, dangerous. You know, putting your phone up to your ear like that, not safe, don't do that. So if you want to avoid that and be able to still communicate with people, you can get one of these Bluetooth earpieces and use them when you're driving around or traveling, and not have to worry about touching or picking up your cell phone. You know, it's pretty easy to click on the button when you do get a call, and it's a lot more better than, you know, going on your phone and trying to unlock it and picking up the call. So it's a lot more safer too. So I do appreciate that. But honestly, the audio didn't sound too bad. I don't know if you guys were able to pick up on the conversation, but from my end it sounded good, and from his end it sounded perfectly fine. So I think that this Bluetooth earpiece does the trick.